Good morning. I am Ankit, a freshman year member of Mechanical Subsystem of Team Tiburon in ITR. So, on behalf of the subsystem, I will guide you through this part of the video. So, let us begin with a brief introduction of the subsystem.
We are the mechanical subsystem from Team Tiburon. We design, innovate, simulate, manufacture and maintain a bot. We have been consistently working on the design of a bot and trying to improvise from our previous versions. And this time we are back with our Tiburon 4.0. Our team has brainstormed to produce such a machine which can be easily used into the real-time environment. And we are very excited to share our work and experiences with all of you.
We at Mechanical Subsystem work on mechanical properties of our boat. We design, innovate and create the boat. We get down and dirty and manufacture the boat. But before the blowtorches and hacksaws come, a lot is done to ensure the designs meet our high safety standards, provides adequate space, watertight sealing and an overall energy efficient design. In all this, our prior experience proved very beneficial to us. When it comes to hull design, we made some considerable changes compared to our previous model. We ensured that our hull could withstand the most harsh pressures possible by increasing the testing pressure up to 10 meters of depth underwater. While brainstorming for the hull of 4.0, we needed it to be sturdy yet light and possibly immune to the corrosive effects of water. Of course, a good thermal conductivity would be a cherry on top. We shifted the hull inside and the design will be tailored for the components that fit inside. This will help us reduce excessive material and free space and make our design more efficient. The electronic components of the hull dissipate much heat, so suitable arrangements that facilitate heat exchange are also considered. The arrangements primarily include heat pipes to boost and increase the effectiveness of pre-existing measures present on some electronic components. After we laid down the competition strategy and goals for our hull design, it was the time actually to design and develop the hull. The team went through many materials with various properties to find a suitable material for the hull to meet our goals. We closely communicated with the electronic subsystem while designing the hull to ensure enough space for all electronic components. The cylindrical hull from our previous iteration was changed to a box-shaped design. We did this to compensate for the increased size of electronic components. We also aimed to reduce vacant space with this change and allow some additional fail-safe features in accidental leakage. This made our boat more compact.
The electric components are placed on a perforated tapered base plate instead of the base of the box to prevent it from getting wet in case of an occasional accidental leakage and providing an extra layer of safety to our circuitry. Also, water sealing in our new hull is done using rectangular rings instead of the O-rings used for the circular hull previously, and then properly screwed using Allen bond. The penetrators used in our hull are also sealed by using Anabond on the region surrounding the penetrators, Araldite on the inner walls of the penetrators, M-seal, well, 2-seal, etc. to perform water sealing without damaging the electronic components inside effectively. Our previous experiences tell us that even with our best efforts for water sealing, there is still a chance for some water to seep inside. So, to counter this, our aforementioned perforated and tapered plate provides our circuit board with an offset from the ground level. Water that seeps into the hull gets collected at the bottom while the circuitry stays untouched and safe on a platform inside the hull. After we put all the design considerations in place, we set our eyes on materials. We scanned through many materials to find the right fit for our hull. Initially, we shortlisted around 15 materials to design the hull based upon materials used in markets, industries and previous RoboSub competitions. This data provided us with an initial starting point in the analysis. Then, a manual comparative of properties helped us reduce the number of materials down to around 7. This included materials like aluminium, PEEK, PA6, S-glass, polycarbon and few others. Then, we did the testing of various materials by simulating the results in ANSYS static structural. We applied a pressure equivalent to a depth of 10 meter underwater to the materials and checked multiple parameters including but not restricted to deformation, equivalent stresses, factor of safety, weight for these materials. We also considered the cost factor while comparing. After tedious simulating and crunching through the data obtained, we finally ended out S-glass as our material for the hull. It provided us with an excellent load-bearing capacity at 10-meter depth with small deformation and was lightweight compared to other materials with similar strength properties. From mechanical subsystem this year, along with focusing on weight and drag reduction to reduce the power losses, we also focused on proper cooling of electronics, as a few new components generate a lot of heat. By doing so, we ensure that the electronics work at optimum temperatures, thus enhancing the power efficiency. For cooling, the thermal system consists of a semi-passive cooling system. It helps us provide better cooling without having heavy toll on our batteries. The primary method of heat transfer is conduction. There are other minor sources of heat which are cooled by convection due to the circulating air. The cooling system primarily consists of heat pipes, which are paired with internal cooling mechanisms present in some of the components. The heat pipes help in easy and continuous flow of heat out from the hull via the heat sinks present in the ICs and Jetson.
Heat pipes are made as per our circuit settings, and a thermally conductive epoxy is used to fix the heat pipes with the heat sinks. Jetson has an inbuilt cooling fan which helps to circulate the air in the hull, which is in contact with heat sinks. These sinks are connected to heat pipes. Furthermore, the heat pipes are in direct contact with the water outside for the final heat transfer. This whole mechanism helps us to increase the heat transfer rates not just of the Jetson but also from the circulating air inside. Here are some glimpses of the simulation results. The steel show the temperature gradients. In the earlier models, we did not emphasize a dedicated cooling system, as heat released by electronic components of our previous renditions was manageable. In our new vehicle, we have used better and more powerful ICs and a Jetson, which are primary heat sources.